Godmill again. So the only thing I'm not getting is how does the tap detection box know to move the cube? I can't see how it's connected to the cube and why it doesn't also move anything else. Very confusing. Okay, so I think, let me try to figure this out. So it's the Pong game. The only thing I'm not getting is how does the tap detection box know to move the cube? Oh, okay, so all right, so basically, I think the way we had it is so here's the paddle at the front of the scene. Okay, so this is the paddle moving here, left and right. Okay, let's not talk about the ball, but in the background is this tap detection box, this really large box, yeah. And then here we've got the camera looking at the world. So what happens is when that raycast, that laser that we talked about, fires down into the game world, it hits this tap detection box, and what you get is the information of where that hit was in the world. So if I hit here, let's say the position, the X position, which is the left and right position, it says, okay, oh, it hit in 10. The X position was 10. Now the user taps here on the tap detection box, it registers the tap here. Now X is 11.5. It registers here, now X is 20. Okay, so we know the left and right position of where the user tapped. Then all we're doing is just saying that, oh, make this paddle go to the X position of the tap. So if X tap position is 20, just move the paddle to 20. That's all it is. The tap detection box doesn't do anything. The tap detection box is just there to register taps. Because if we don't have this tap box, that laser or that raycast will not hit anything, and then we don't get any information about where the user tapped on the screen. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. So just remember, the tap detection box just tells you where the user tapped on the screen, the X position, and then we can tell the paddle, the moving paddle at the bottom of the screen, we can just say, oh, move the paddle to position 5, position 5.9, 6.1. Okay, great, and then it moves. So I hope that was I hope that explained it a little bit. If not, please drop a comment and I'll try to explain a little bit more. So PSN Pod, Martin, thanks for making these videos. But you make a game in Unity, but what about the activities? I mean, you've got to have a layout, and when play is pressed, it should call the activity of the game, which I have no idea how it works. But suppose it's by importing Unity projects or something like that. Can you please help me answer these questions? So PSN Pod, just give me 2 seconds. I need to grab some water because I've been speaking for like 40 minutes now. I'll be right back. I'm just going to pause this. Hey again, so I'm back. PSN Pod. So I was just reading your message again there. But you make a game in Unity, but what about the activities? And when you press play, it should call the activity of the game. Yeah. So sorry, PSN Pod. I don't really know what you're asking. What the question is there. Please comment back and explain a little bit more. Then I can give you an answer. I'm not sure what you mean by activities, or when you said here importing a Unity project. I don't know what that means exactly. I know which video this is. I remember doing this one a while back. So, but yeah, please comment back to me and I'll try to answer that for you. But you know, again, thanks for the question. Rolf, I'll just say Rolf. All right, cool, Rolf. Comment on Killer Shooting Sniper X. I have it, and that is good. Awesome, thank you. I'm glad you have it. I'm glad you like it as well. You know, Killer Shooting Sniper X has been a pretty good game for us so far. Just another tip as well, guys, on the marketing side of things. If you are building a game, make a YouTube video, and then put a link to that YouTube video in your game, because that means the YouTube video will have a lot of views, and if it has a lot of views, it means it gets ranked higher in YouTube, and therefore your game will be viewed more and maybe more people will download it. For us here, Killer Shooting Sniper X, I think in the game I actually link it to this video, the making of Killer Shooting Sniper X. I've always been really interested in DVDs that have the making of the movie, you know, like the making of Aliens or the making of The Matrix, and really I love to watch movies that have the making of, you know, and they really go into a lot of detail about how it was done, and that's what I was trying to do here, attempting to do here. and I think I'll continue to do this more once we start to build some new games and get them into the market, because the video series of Killer Shooting Sniper X, I think I was actually building the game and doing the videos pretty much at the same time, and who knows, maybe talking to you guys on the video actually helped it improve the quality, because I was sort of like having this dialogue with myself about how to do things, or maybe it's kind of making it a bit more visual and a little bit more thought was going into it. Who knows? But on definitely like include a YouTube video and in your games, and definitely on the if you're on Android, include your video inside of the Android developer portal for Google Play, because that YouTube link that you have for a video is the first thing that the player sees if they browse for your game inside of the Google Play market. If they tap on your game, the first image that pops up is the video. So definitely do that. But Rolf, thank you. I'm glad you like the game. Keep playing. Give us a big 5 stars on the App Store, please, or on Android. So Godmill, hello again. If you search Google for Dr. Petter's oh yeah, I read this one before. So if you search Google for Dr. Petter's SFXR, there's a brilliant little program for randomly generating 8-bit game style sounds. It takes seconds to come up with some great retro noise. Dude, that's awesome. That's a really cool comment. Or girl. Sorry, I don't know if you're a guy or a girl. But thank you very much. So I'm gonna check that out for sure. I'm just gonna copy this right now, and I'm gonna put it into this so I can check it out later. Awesome. Thank you for the recommendation. And anyone else who's watching this video or maybe seen the comment from Godmill, check it out. Great tutorial series. Thank you so much. One wee question: is there an easy way to influence the ball's bounce of the paddle by the direction the paddle is moving? If the paddle is moving right when the ball hits it, the angle the ball leaves is slightly more towards the right. I'm just not getting enough random movement control for my liking. Thanks. So I think I know what you mean. Is there a way to influence the ball's bounce of the paddle by the direction the paddle is moving? If the paddle is moving right when the ball hits it, yeah, there is. And I can think of a way to do that right now, but maybe I can't explain it. Obviously I can't write the code for you right now on how to do that. Maybe I can explain it a little bit. So what you want to do is, as the paddle moves left and right, you want to get the speed of the paddle either as a plus or minus figure. So if it's going to the right, it will be plus something, plus 5 or whatever, depending on the speed. If it moves left, it's going to go -1, -5 or something like that. I think a rough way to do it, this is really just off the top of my head right now, is if you, on this frame, you record, there's a variable at the top that says previous X position. And when you're in the update, it will go previous X position equals the current X position. Okay, so on this frame, it is, say, position 5 in X. Okay. Then what you want to do is, before that previous position equals current position, before that, what you want to do is say something like previous X, speed equals previous X position minus current X position. Okay? Times time dot delta time. Something like this, roughly. Because then what it'll do is it will say, if you move from point 5 to point 10, it will know that oh, that's quite slow from the last frame. It will know, oh, we didn't move very fast, we didn't move very far. So the speed is just plus 5, for example. Okay. If you move faster, then it will say, oh, it's gone from position 5 to position 20. So that's plus 15. So the speed is now plus 15 or something like that. Okay. And if you move the opposite way, it will say minus 15 or whatever. Then when the ball hits it, inside of the function on collision enter, I think we use that function in the ball or the paddle. I think we did anyway. If we didn't do that, what you need to do is add a script to the ball that, or a script to the paddle that says on collision enter, and then it calculates that speed, then it shows that speed, and then you apply that speed to the ball force, if that makes sense. So inside of when the on collision enter inside of the paddle, what you would do is you'd say the collision that just hit the paddle, you'd say broadcast message. Broadcast message means it sends a script function call to the object that it just hit. And you would say broadcast message increase horizontal speed, okay? And then in that script you would send it what was the speed of the paddle when the ball hit. And then inside of the ball script you would say ball just hit paddle, apply new speed function, and then based on the speed you would increase the force. Okay, so you'd say x plus equals the speed of the paddle, but you'd need to reduce that down, because if you add like too much force then it would go flying off in all directions. But I think also remember as well is that you don't want it to go too fast. You want to cap the speed some way, because if the user does this very fast across the screen and they do hit the ball real fast, then it's going to go crazy all over the screen. It's going to go straight down. So find a way to cap the speed. So that was sorry, that was really just off the top of my head. I hope that made a little bit of sense. Give it a try. See if you can come up with something. If you do find a cool way to do that, please post back and let us know. And maybe somebody else can also use that as well. And it's great to share. So thank you if you do that. But I hope it goes well anyway. Keywords on Amazon. This is amazing. Marketing tips. Cool. I'll check it out. Maybe on Amazon later once we increase our Amazon marketing.